I enjoyed Sword Art Online. Yep, that's all the intro you get for this one. Last one was too long, so why not start from the ground up? Anyway, heyo, I'm Yuki. There's always been this sort of stereotype as to what's a good anime. But as you know, stereotypes are meant to be broken, not applied. And with this subjective of a topic, there will never be one true answer as to what makes an anime good or bad. Think about it. I just broke a major writing rule, but you're still watching. I mean, I hope you are if you heard me say that, because if you weren't watching but you know I said that, it'd make you a bot. Bad robot, bad. Get away from my video. Anyway, you probably noticed the rule I broke, even if subconsciously. Let me hand this one to Yuki from like a minute ago. Yep, that's all the intro you get for this one. The last one was too long, so why not start from the ground up? See what I did there? I said I'd end the intro there, but I continued anyway. But again, here you are watching. You probably noticed that I messed up, but kept watching because I held your interest regardless. That's exactly what I'm talking about today. But before that topic gets too deep, we need to first discuss what I consider fitting the bad anime stereotype. Let me start by listing some anime titles, and you get the privilege of telling me whether you've watched them or not. I mean, I can't hear you audibly, but if you really want, you can comment about it. Anyway, you get how this works, right? I name anime, you decide if you've watched it. Let's go. Let's see here. Reborn as a vending machine, I now wander the dungeon. Okay. I was reincarnated as the 7th prince, so I can take my time perfecting my magical ability. Interesting. Alright. The 8th son? Are you kidding me? Okay, gotcha. So, you've seen absolutely none of those. Are you sure you're an anime fan? You're telling me you haven't seen my isekai life? I gained a 2nd character class and became the strongest sage in the world? Alrighty, enough with that gag. In my mind, those shows are prime examples of what someone would call a bad anime. They are overly tropey and just don't have enough well-structured plot. They honestly feel like one of those gimmicks you see new products trying to use. I'm the president of Nintendo, Yuki, and I'm here to unveil the next device in our handheld lineup. May I present to you the Nintendo 3DS. Ha, get it? Because it has 3 screens? Why did no one in PR warn me about this? Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the 3DS either, but you know what? People will still buy it. It's the same case with generic isekai anime. There are people who like it. It may not be your thing, but it has an audience, and more importantly, a niche. This is the first half of the main point of this video. Everyone has their preferences, whether it's about food, colors, people, or which anime most efficiently crushed their soul. Because of that, even if the general consensus is my isekai life is bad and no one should watch it, you've also got those people in the back like, you go, Yuji. Some tropes may be always written terribly or overdone, and that's a fact. But which tropes are specifically applied there is entirely subjective. The fact remains, I would prefer to watch To Your Eternity over my isekai life any day. But I watch anime so much, I've got to where I call isekai my anime fodder. That happens because I can only really rewatch one show so often, and when I'm burnt out on a show temporarily, I need something to watch. And I quite enjoy seeing an OP protagonist getting recognized for his skills in a world of swords and sorcery. I don't care how overdone it is or bound by a weak plot. It's fun to watch and I don't have to think too much. Death Note. Phew, I don't know how that one got in there. It's good anime, just makes me think a lot. Wait. Thinking a lot? Now that I think about it, this video is sponsored. By who, you ask? Why, none other than yours truly. But in all seriousness, I'm just starting to try to get my channel off the ground, so any support is greatly, seriously, and out of the depths of my heart appreciated. Whether that means just giving me a like, or subscribing and watching my future videos, any of it helps. And beyond that, it shows me there are people out there who enjoy my content. Anyway, thanks to you for listening, and back to the video we shall go. Time for the other half of my main point, and it's an important one too. It is 100% okay to like supposedly bad anime. Did that reach the back of the class? I'll say it again, it's totally fine. What anime you watch should not be determined by a rating on my anime list. It should be determined by the attached genres and tropes, then actually giving the first couple episodes a chance. At the end of the day, you should be watching something that fulfills you, whatever that means to you. Don't like super heavy anime plots that make you cry? Watch K-On! And relish in the Gita magic. Don't like slice of life because you find it boring? Go right on ahead with your Death Note potato chip mind games. And finally, if you've watched all the anime you care to see and just want to vibe more, go watch that isekai you've been denying yourself for so long. It's totally okay to like an anime that nobody else does. Take that to heart, if nothing else. Now then, let's wrap things up with some of my own guilty pleasure anime. I've got 3 here today, and they're some of my go-to anime that most people don't like. First up is Sword Art Online, or SAO as it mostly gets called. To me, you either watch just the Aincrad arc being the first half of season 1, or you stick it out to the end. Here's my breakdown as to what I enjoyed. The Aincrad arc was really good. Sure, it was a basic teen romance plot with a self-insert protagonist, but the setup of being trapped in the game and how real it made everything was very nice to watch. The following Alpine arc was tied with another arc for last place with me. Kirito just kinda cheesed through it, and the ending was kinda forced to me. Season 2 with Gun Gale has kinda become my guilty pleasure arc. The self-battle with Kirito's past, and the blending of the real world and virtual, along with Sino's phobia, they all connected with me. A lot of people didn't like this arc, but it was just really nice for me. I'll skip over Season 2 Part 2 because it's just nothing but hard spoilers and I don't have much of an opinion there anyway. The entirety of Season 3 was awesome. Hands down, my favorite part of Sword Art. Yu-Gi-Oh! Kinda lacked emotion in the beginning, but I think that was by design. He was meant to seem like a super advanced NPC and sound just a little foreign and old-fashioned. Finally, Season 4 was tied with Season 1 Part 2 for the worst arc to me. Having your protagonist locked away for 20 episodes is just way too long. Sure, it helped develop other characters, but it was just dragged out. Anyway, my other 2 anime have much shorter opinions. How a Realist Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom is one of my favorite unpopular isekai anime. I just really like how Soma gets thrust into this position seemingly perfect for him. He has to do that, all while breaking customs to keep the country moving forward. And it was a spectacle of world building. The only part I don't like is the non-monogamous trope, basically taking multiple wives. But it's not something that stopped me from enjoying the show. And I mean, besides, that's kind of like a lot of anime nowadays anyway, anything in the fantasy setting. And finally, the last anime I enjoyed despite its sometimes negative reputation is the Slime Isekai. Its full title is That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, and it is one of my absolute favorite anime. The reason I like it so much is just how it feels like playing a city builder game while watching. That, and it's mixed with a super OP protagonist that's not entirely unrivaled. Like, in Season 1, there's a quote from Great Sage while Rimuru is facing the newly introduced Demon Lord Malim. The individual known as Malim Nava possesses nearly 10 times as many magicals as you do to the nearest measurable degree. And the dude suppresses her with honey. Honey, I tell you. Rimuru just thinks outside of the box, and that's furthered with the help of his Great Sage skill. It makes the world building so much more interesting, and makes the show fun to watch both with his bustling city and him having to face enemies with his powers. All this is done without ignoring the risk factor involved in leading a city. These are all shows I could geek out about, but most people don't even enjoy them. And that's okay too. You're allowed to watch what you like and ignore what you don't. It's why I dropped One Piece after 20 episodes. I just did not enjoy it. Anyway, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed this one because it was fun to script and record, as usual. And for those who saw my last video, I am no longer sick. I still have a bit of mucus, but I'm doing so much better. Anyway, be sure to like and subscribe, and with that, I'll see you later. Peace out. Just realized I forgot to record this with VC Face at 4K, so the lines might be a little worse today. Like my hairlines and stuff. Was tied with another arc for last place with me. Oh, no, stop lagging. You know what that means? Optimized for long time streaming. Yes, cool, there. We good now? What is using my CPU? Just minimize Discord.